Ladies and gentlemen, James and I here, big smiles on our faces, and there's a reason for that. You watching helped us hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is maybe a silly milestone to some people, but for us is a really, really big deal. James, I don't know about you, but I was kind of reminiscing recently. I was telling somebody and I was kind of downplaying. I think we were around like 200 or so. And I was saying like, yeah, like we're trying to do our thing and we've got a few couple hundred people. And they were like, look out into that room over there. And I looked, it was this big kind of room. And he was like, imagine 200 people sat there in chairs with you and James up on a stage, watching you and listening to you and absorbing what you have to say and having thoughts and opinions and stuff. Well, times that by five and picture a room with 1,000 people in it watching us do stuff. We have videos with 2,000, 3,000 views, some of them, I think, right? That's a really big deal. And it shows that a lot of people care and that, you and I are doing a good thing here. We're trying to build a little bit of a community and hopefully the people that are consistently watching us are doing that for a reason. So it's just a good perspective thing for me whenever you look at, comparing yourself to other people. This is a really huge achievement. And James and I know James would agree with me, we're so, so grateful for any subscription, like anything. We're so grateful. I'm going to stop talking because I like doing that a lot, and I'm going to let James talk now.
Guys, I know you guys want to see the video, but just honestly, thank you guys. 1,000 is massive, massive, absolutely incredible. I remember when we first started this thing, to see what it's like, it's become. I really, really do thank you. But we're not going to stop here, guys. We want to keep on building. Can we get to 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, maybe the 100K max? So keep on smashing that like button, keep on subscribing. Let's get into the video, Jack.
James, thank yous are out of the way. We're grateful, but people want us to talk about what's going on in the world of football. Um, Really sent kind of shockwaves, I think, around the Premier League footballing world in general. Jurgen Klopp, after 8 years, is no longer going to be at Anfield, no longer going to be the Liverpool manager. Huge news, huge news.
Massive,
And I think,
massive in so many ways.
generally speaking, I think you and I would say that, he's had immense success there. Yes, the rivalry between Man City and Liverpool maybe hasn't been as good of a rivalry as we've wanted. Man City, pretty clear winners across that. But a Champions League, a Premier League, especially with what they have to work with compared to what Man City have to work with, incredible achievement across the board. We can wax lyrical about Jurgen Klopp. Probably my favorite manager in the world of football. I think he's so likable, so charismatic. But James, let's look at some names of some guys who might be able to replace him because this is kind of interesting. I would say there's probably two major standout names, and then all the usual suspect names come up. But who's your kind of like number one, maybe under the radar pick, right? Because again, I think you and I know the ones that everyone's going to pick, but who's one that you think, oh, this could work, this could really, really be good?
But one thing I'm going to say here before I even get into my synopsis is Jackie, like that word there. I don't know if I'm
I
saying it
did. I'm
in
impressed with
the right.
that.
Said cheese. I'm that. But the one thing I'm going to say here is timing. Timing with this is a big thing because if this would have happened 2 seasons ago, Jack, do you know who would have been ahead of the table here? Steven Gerrard.
Right.
Steven Gerrard would have been the main guy, and now after 2 years, all the stuff that's went on with him, and now he's in Saudi. It's like he's completely out the window. If this would have happened midway through his Villa run, or even like during his time at Rangers, it would have been Steven Gerrard easy. We know what happened since, and now candidates Steven Gerrard is completely out the name, and right now the timing for certain candidates is really, really good. We know the one that we're going to mention, which is the standout name for everybody's Xabi Alonso. And
Right.
with Carlo Ancelotti signing a new deal, it seems more than likely that with the love affair that he's had with Liverpool, that could be his next step. And we can get into the style of play in Xabi Alonso there. But Jack wants me to throw out some crazy odd names. Okay. So Jack, I got a few here. I got two interesting ones here. One of
James,
them,
very quickly, can we like if
yeah,
we get into the Jabi Alonso thing too, just very, very quickly while
okay.
we're kind of talking about it. Like, this is a guy who could go anywhere. Javi is leaving Barcelona. Now, I know Xabi Alonso played for Real Madrid, and that's where you'd imagine he'd want to go. I don't think Carlo Ancelotti, by the way, would stand in the way of being replaced. He's done his time. He doesn't owe anybody anything. He's proven his worth. I think if it worked out well for him, that he could be paid off nicely and then Xabi Alonso could come in, I think they could figure it out. I wouldn't, I guess my point is, I wouldn't read too much into the Carlo Ancelotti contract extension. But do you want to go into a Liverpool team with a slightly older Mo Salah, a slightly older Virgil van Dijk? Do you kind of follow me here? There's a little bit of change that's kind of going to be happening here at Liverpool, maybe with some names on the way out if Jürgen Klopp's leaving too. I think I've seen some stuff about certain players only have 18 months left on their contract at Liverpool as well. That's a lot for Xabi Alonso to handle. And right now, that would be a very difficult job to come into, and he'd be testing his mettle against Pep Guardiola, and that's just a losing battle. I don't care who you are, even if you're as great as Jurgen Klopp, you've only been able to pull off one Premier League title and one Champions League in that kind of time frame. Now, that's no mean feat, but all the other Premier League titles the other guys won. Xabi Alonso's not going to go in there and just
But
start walking all over Pep. Xabi Alonso has to think about his own career and his own timing about what's going to work well for him.
but Jack, I always have to say with this, I think Liverpool fans are going to be reasonable here. I feel like
Right,
they know what Jurgen Klopp did was unprecedented.
right,
Jack, he won a Premier League title for them after how many years? Like Liverpool, they won it for 30 odd years. He won them the Premier League title, yeah. He won them a Champions League, been to multiple European finals in the Europa League and also in the Champions League. Yeah. They know that their expectations after Jurgen Klopp leaves, I think it's gonna be from here.
yeah,
So I don't think Javi Alonso is going to come in with crazy expectations. They know what's going on this season. They know how certain things are going to change. And the question is, we haven't even mentioned him yet, Mo Salah. Because I think with the fact that Jurgen Klopp is gone right now, Mo Salah is going to look at himself thinking, yeah, the man who I mainly stayed for, yeah, one of the reasons why I became I came is now gone. Is there a reason for me to is there a reason for me to be at this football club when I can go to Saudi Arabia and earn money that like his great grandkids are going to be seeing
right.
for many years to come? Like to me, it really just depends. But I think Jabi Alonso comes into a good situation, Jack, because he goes in there with no expectation. And honestly, in my opinion, with time to build his team with certain players there, I look at somebody like Trent Alexander-Arnold with the way like somebody like Pep plays. Trent Alexander-Arnold can come in and I mentioned Pep because let's be honest, Xabi Alonso's almost using like the whole Pep blueprint, and he's gonna look at somebody like and Xabi Alonso will look at somebody like Trent and be like, "You can come in, and I can and I can work wonders with you. I can have you
Right.
maybe play in midfield. I can have you play inverted. All that sort of stuff in there. Virgil van Dijk, Jack, as any manager in the world would love to get their hands on him. Granted, he's gonna have to fit in certain players in there, and certain players are gonna go out. But I feel like it's a really good job for him. I think it's the best job for him to take. I think him going to Real Madrid sort of job for me, Jack. He goes into an environment where win. While Liverpool, it's like we'll give you time.
But I
Yeah, we're
think
here to
I
give you
think
time.
but I think at Real Madrid, not only does he have the players that can enable him to win, he can then there might be even in the budget for an Mbappe, maybe in the budget for an Erling Haaland, and then you pair that with what he's got. The problem at Liverpool is, I know you're saying the expectation may be lower, but there will be a little bit of a like, if he's not doing as good as Jurgen Klopp kind of did,
But Jack, I don't think anybody's gonna expect that from him because
no,
Klopp took 2 years to really challenge. He took to what first season, first half season, he got the two league cup, he got the two cup finals, amazing. Second season, top four. Third season, got the Champions League final. He didn't challenge for the league in any one of them 3 years. Of course, he was doing well in other cup competitions, but it wasn't like a straight thing. Like he went in all guns blazing. They're going to give him time as long as he shows progression and maybe kind of get them into a top four race and challenging for I don't know a few cups here or there. I do think Liverpool are like Liverpool fans will be fine because Jack challenging Pep
I
Guardiola
know
is
it's
one of the most
impossible.
impossible things in just being a manager. Like to go toe to toe with him. Like Jurgen Klopp has lost sleep. He's lost hair. Pep's kicked him out of the Premier League. I can't do this anymore. I
I'm
can't work with this man. It's a lot
I'm
of you.
just I'm just going to throw this little conspiracy theory out here too. A news report this evening has come out from Sport, right? saying that Mikel Arteta has told his entourage that he is leaving Arsenal. Right now, this
Jack, we'll
is
get into that video too,
you
because
and I are going to talk that
we're gonna do
in a
another
full
video
length
there.
thing later. But Xavi Hernandez leaves his job at Barcelona. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's last season at Arsenal. Man City might either get relegated or Pep Guardiola might think, I've won the treble. I'm kind of good at Man City. Maybe I'll take the Barcelona job. There's kind of potentially an opening up for Xabi Alonso to come in here and be the new king of the Premier League and maybe take Liverpool above Manchester City with Pep Guardiola out of the way. It's my final little tidbit on Xabi Alonso.
Listen,
Go ahead.
Jack, let's get into some names right now. I'm going to put out two names here. First one I'm going to put out, granted he's doing an amazing job where he is right now. I'm going to say Unai Emery. I look at his style, yeah. I look at him as a manager. And granted, maybe it might not work in terms of view of Liverpool want to challenge for the league because he hasn't been able to have that consistency in the league. But you look at Liverpool, Europe, Cup competitions, you know what Unai Emery is like
All
in
right.
European Cup competition. It's something that could, like, think about it, could potentially work. I look at Unai Emery's style of play, love to play like at the halfway line, loves to catch teams offside, loves to press high, more of an in possession manager, but has very similar traits to a manager like Jürgen Klopp, and I think that could have been thing. The only thing I'm going to say with that, it's hard to make it happen with what's going on with Villa, and is the fit there long term?
Well,
Possibly not, but more of a short term thing for me.
I think you're probably right. And also, if I was him, I wouldn't dare leave the Villa job unless I feel like I've, squeezed that for all it's worth. Because I think he could do potentially incredible things this season if they can stay somewhat consistent. My one thing with him, though, James, with that Liverpool job is Mo Salah goes, well, I mean, you want to try and drag Ollie Watkins over? You want to try and drag Leon
Yeah,
Bailey over?
yeah, but I
You
don't
want to
move.
try.
I'm no disrespect for them man, but them man to Mo Salah is like, come on, Jack. I
No,
say, yeah,
I know, but I know it wouldn't be a like for like replacement. But if you've got Darwin Nunez, you've got Jota, you've got Luis Diaz, and you throw a Watkins, a Zaniolo, a Leon Bailey, or whoever into that Musa Diaby into that kind of spot too, you go. The attack's looking still pretty good. Douglas Luiz, whoever, somebody like that potentially. James, my two names, and I'll keep it short and sweet. De Zerbi, good manager, can play a certain style, whatever, whatever. It feels like the momentum slowed down a little bit at Brighton. I wonder if he would potentially be tempted. James, the other one, kind of more of a wild card, and this is one where I'd at least interview him and see what he wants to do with Liverpool. Julian Nagelsmann. If you're
100%.
used to a German manager with a German style and kind of a high press and doing all these things and energy and blah blah blah, I don't think there's anybody who has the kind of energy and youth and all that stuff. Julian Nagelsmann is probably going to be that guy. He's had a good spell at a club. He's had a bad spell at a club. I think that will make him a better rounded manager. And I wonder if taking over from Jurgen Klopp, having Klopp's number so he can potentially call him, ask him for advice, what he would do in certain situations. I think Julian Nagelsmann is somebody that Liverpool should potentially be considering as well.
Jack, that is a huge, huge shout there. You mentioned the similarities. So, Jack, so similar to the fact that they like to win the ball high. They play on the halfway line. German manager, and to be fair, Jack, they've been kind of in and around the similar. They've been linked to similar jobs. In the past. One more I'm going to throw out there, Jack, is this one's a bit of a left curve right here, but hear me out, guys. Liverpool fans are probably going to think, James, you're crazy. I'm like, but I'm going to say Jose Mourinho. And the reason why I'm going to say Jose Mourinho is that you mentioned before that Liverpool have some old players. And the one man I believe can work well with these old veterans, like as you say, and squeeze the last bit out of them is a Jose Mourinho. You've seen what he was able to do with the Inter Milan team and squeeze the last bits of a Lucio, a Maicon, a Javier
Jose
Zanetti in
Mourinho
there.
with
You know,
Darwin Nunez too.
Jack, Jose Mourinho went down. I'm pretty. The one thing that I always vouch for with Jose Mourinho is his ability to improve strikers. I've seen
Right.
him improve Harry Kane. I've seen him improve Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I've seen him ask Samuel Eto'o, yeah, Jack, to play as a winger. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen him improve Diego Milito, Drogba. Listen, if Jose
Lukaku.
Mourinho got to work with a Darwin Nunes, it could be a problem there. I look at players like Trent. Could he get something? Could he maybe get something out of it? Maybe improve him defensively? Van
Mentality.
Dijk, Kanate. He's probably going to look at them two centre backs and just be like, what could I do with them there? Granted, the fit from the possibility of the Anfield crowd relating to José Mourinho with all the battles that they've had, probably not going to work. It might be a thing where how Rafa Benitez went to Chelsea. So yeah, but that could be a possibility too. If Liverpool still want to squeeze what they have left of this squad, it might be a thing of they bring in Jose Mourinho and bring in the poison, as they say. But guys, let me know, guys. Yeah, who will replace Jurgen Klopp? Jack. Who do we mention? We mentioned Xabi Alonso, of course. Julian Nagelsmann, Unai Emery, Jose
Deserby.
Mourinho,
Gerrard
Deserby, guys.
is still
Listen,
managing too. I'm not saying it's going to be him, but he's still managing out there.
if you have any names, comment down below, guys. Let us know. This is Box to Box Football, and we'll see you guys next time.